Hi, Tammy. Spur of the moment thing. You still here, Tammy? Yeah, you are. Okay. You doing okay, Tammy? Hey, Linda. My mouth still hurts. I just feel really tired, but I'll be okay. Just thought I'd come read for a few minutes. Hey, Mary. Oh, Linda, when do you want to come on? And you can read that story. Would you read it on here? Like if we could make a plan. Hi, Karen. You could come here. I could have the StreamYards going. It's super easy to come up. All you do is click on the link and you could read to us. Hey, farm wife. No, why does everybody think it's my birthday? It's not my birthday. I saw people saying that over in Carolyn's. And Davita sent me a happy birthday message. Oh, Linda, Tammy got her train today. She said to let you know. Hi, Captain Lee. I don't know who started that. That was my birthday. Let's not push it now. Got about a month and a half before I turn the old 67. Why do you have to give me your phone number, though, Linda? Hi, whisper to me. No, because when I'm on StreamYard, all I'll do is put the link right there in the chat, and you'll just click on it, and it'll bring you right in. Linda said she hopes you like it, Tammy. When do you want to do it, Linda? I guess we can just work it out, for when Carolyn's not going to be on so that we can do it, during one of her open time slots. Davita's supposed to be here. Danielle, are you here yet, Danielle? This is your state, Danielle. New Jersey. It's nobody's birthday that I know of. Well, yeah, I do, but you guys don't know her. Oh, cool, Captain Lee. Okay, you're here, Danielle. I forgot to make my birthday thing today. I've been trying to say one every day for the people of the world. Dang it. Oh, wow. He wants a train. Yeah, those are cool, Tammy. I don't blame them. Hi, Robin. Again, yeah, it's not my birthday. I have no idea. I don't know. It's not my birthday. Hi, Jenny D1. My birthday is May 4th. May the 4th be with you. Yeah, it's not my birthday. It's little Abby's birthday. She turned 3 today. Our little granddaughter, Dave's biological granddaughter. Yeah, how is your eye, Tammy? Is it getting better? Yeah, I do look like I'm peaked today. I have vitamin C. You think I should take that? It's up here in the roof of my mouth. Here's the 30th. Okay, I'm just going to start reading. Okay. This one, the first chapter, The Blue Lantern, Ringwood State Park in Ringwood. My wife and I came, oh, and let me know if Carolyn comes on, guys, okay? Hi, wake up. My wife and I came to an agreement shortly after we married. I would happily accompany her on her ghostly ramblings as long as she chose to visit spots where both of us could pursue our various interests. This means that we mostly visit haunted state parks, which suits an outdoors fellow like me just fine. While my wife indulges her psychic self by wandering through old, well preserved haunted houses, I hike along the various trails provided by the park systems. When she visits old graveyards, I take along my bike and explore the beautifully manicured grounds. If she takes a cruise on a mysterious lake and watches for aquatic monsters of the mythical kind, I rent a kayak and paddle along behind the boat. Yes, sleep well, Captain Lee. So far, all our outings have been enjoyable ones and have added a delightful dimension to our already happy marriage. So, where are we off to today, Jeannie? I asked as we climbed into our SUV. As usual, Jeannie's bag was full of maps and pamphlets and ghost guides. We're headed to Ringwood State Park in Ringwood, New Jersey, my petite red-headed wife said cheerfully. According to the literature, the park lies in the heart of the Ramapo Mountains and is easily accessible from exit 57 off Route 287. Hey, Debbie D. You sound like a guidebook, I said with a grin as I started the engine and pulled out of the driveway. What about the park draws us there this fine July morning? Ringwood State Park consists of some of the original land and buildings of the once flourishing iron industry developed in 1740 by the Ringwood Company, Jeannie said, reading directly from a page she had printed from the internet. Abandoning the paper, she continued from memory. It was the home of several well-known iron masters, including one Scottish man, Robert Erskine, who was the Surveyor General for General Washington himself. Later, it was owned by a man called Martin Ryerson, who ran the local ironworks and built the Ringwood Manor. Her voice deepened when she mentioned the manor. I knew that tone of voice. Don't tell me I know, I said teasingly. Ringwood Manor just happens to be haunted. By who? Robert Erskine? Martin Ryerson? Ringwood Manor is a Gothic revival mansion with classical embellishments. It sits on a low hill overlooking a small pond in the midst of a beautiful valley, Jeannie said in a reproving tone, irritated that I had stolen her big revelation. It was last owned by the wealthy Hewitt family, and it was donated to the state in 1936 by Erskine Hewitt. It's supposed to be haunted by the ghost of a housemaid. She can be heard moving about in a small room on the second floor. There's reports of noises coming from the empty room. Footsteps, sounds of heavy objects dropping, soft crying. They say that members of the staff keep finding the bedroom door ajar and the bed rumpled. Only one housemaid? I questioned. Surely there must be more ghosts than that. Jeannie glared at me. She often wondered aloud how a faithful believer in ghosts could have married a skeptic like me. They say there's an unmarked grave filled with the remains of French soldiers who fought during the Revolutionary War. After dark, you can hear soft, sad voices speaking in French. There's also a ghost of a servant named Jeremiah, and Mrs. Hewitt is said to wander around the house. Hey, Jackie. Hey, Davida. Okay, Davida, we'll be here. What about my pal Robert Erskine, I asked. Surely he must roam the grounds. Yes, he does. Strange lights have been seen over his grave, and sometimes the bricks at the base of the tomb are found on the ground, as if they had been thrust out by some ghostly force inside, said Jeannie. Sounds spooky, I said. Jeannie glared at my flippant tone. Deciding I had teased her enough for one drive, I asked if there was any good hiking trails in this park. Jeannie relaxed a bit, pulled out a map, and began enumerating the various attractions of the park for non-believers. Danielle, have you ever heard of this park? Is this anywhere by you? Up there in old Jersey land? The talk lasted until we came around a bend in Sloatsburg Road and turned to enter the park. On a hill ahead of us stood the fancy manor house Jeannie had described. I raised my eyebrows, impressed by its regal appearance. A large pond lay off to our left, and the smaller mill pond was right beside the drive. I stopped at the booth, paid a small entrance fee, and drove to the parking lot near the house. I'm going to take a house tour, Jeannie said, as we strolled toward the park office. Would you like to come? It was her turn to tease me. No, thanks, I said. I'm only stopping at the house long enough to get a map of the hiking trails. How long do you think the house tour will last? If it's a short one, then I'll just meander around the pond and meet you back here when we're done. Maybe an hour, Jeannie guessed. Let's ask. The girl in the office gave me a map of the park and told Jeannie the tours lasted anywhere from 45 minutes to an hour. I mentally added another half hour since my wife probably would interrogate the tour guide about any reported paranormal happenings once the official tour was over. There was enough time for a short hike on one of the paths or a relaxing stroll around the grounds and down. Oh, I lost my place. And down to Sally's pond in the valley just below the house. I opted for the second option, bade my wife a fond goodbye, which she hardly heard in her raptures, over the columned porch next to the driveway, and strolled off. Hey, Jan. First things first, I spotted a cannon, a huge mortar, and a giant chain on the hillside in front of the house facing the pond. I went to examine them, removing from my pocket some of the literature Jeannie had handed to me upon parting. The documentation identified the cannon as a deck gun from the USS Constitution, Old Ironsides. Hey, Nicole. The huge mortar was one of two used at the siege of Vicksburg, and the chain was a replica of the huge West Point chain, which had been forged from Ringwood iron and used to obstruct British navigation of the Hudson River. A hammer, an anvil, and a giant wheel shaft from the old grist mill were among the other relics at that location. Or Linda, maybe Carolyn. There's Carolyn. I got caught. Just as I was going to talk about you, Carolyn. You're doing the same thing as Davita. She was jumping in the shower. I was just going to say something. I got busted. Hi, Selena Sizemore. I'm glad you did too. Linda Gelb. Thank you, Selena. Yeah, I shouldn't have went live. I ain't looking too hot. Been sleeping a lot today, and I want to go back to bed. But Linda, I was going to say, or if you want to read it in Carolyn's, maybe, you could talk to her and it would be like a member's Zoom or something, how she usually does. Whatever you want to do. Whatever you guys want to do. Thanks, Nicole. Tracy, I'm not going to read later. No. No, I just thought I would go live before Carolyn does, which I used to do. Just thought I would do it right now because I think I'm going to be really tired later. Carolyn on her to hi, Carolyn. What does that mean? Not tonight, Karen, is she? Not that I know of. But whenever she does go live, just let me know. But she's here, so she'll let us know. Carolyn, this is about New Jersey. Reluctantly, I tore myself away from the equipment and wandered past the front of the house toward the side yard, which led down to the shores of Sally's Pond. I passed a glassed-in porch filled with white wicker furniture, surrounded on three sides by a brick patio, guarded by a couple of red stone sphinx and some large plants with black flowers that the bumblebees seemed to find irresistible. Personally, I thought black flowers were a bit on the grim side, but I wasn't a bee. It means Carolyn, in my opinion. It means Carolyn, in my opinion, on here. Hi, Carolyn. You have a bit before I go live. Have to take a shower. Okay. Mommy's always watching, even if she's not my mommy. She will do those on the next auction. Okay, I'm just going to mind my own business here and read. Some of these are really boring, and then others are really good. The boring ones I have a hard time kind of following. I kind of think this is one. I know. It's all on that spreadsheet. I stepped onto the side out. I stepped onto the side lawn and headed down the hill, staring in perplexity at two large freestanding iron gates. There was no wall around them, and no difference to my eyes between the lawn on one side versus the lawn on the other. There were not even vines to twine artistically up their 10 to 12-foot height. And I want cabbage and corned beef and cabbage. Since Danielle said she had it, I'm craving it now. Shaking my head at the vagaries of landscape artists, I strolled through the center of them and down to the pond, disturbing a family of Canadian geese. I'm skipping this one, guys. It's kind of long, okay? It's kind of boring. We know he's going to see some ghost from the Revolutionary War or something. Okay. Okay, this one's called Public Assist. Did you, Jackie? I wish you could, Danielle. I'd meet you halfway. I've been tasting that ever since you said that. This is in North Plainfield. Do you know where that is, Danielle? How about you, Carolyn, if you're not in the shower yet? That's just the first story Whisper to Me. And your name seems like a ghost, now that I think of it, Whisper to Me. I like it, though. Yes, war ghosts, but I don't feel like reading about them right now. Right, Robin? I'll come back to it sometime if I get desperate. Yeah, I hope your eye gets better soon, Tammy. Okay. Public Assist, this one's called. It was late October, and we were relaxing in the common room of the firehouse, watching TV, when the phone rang at 9 o'clock. A call at that time of night usually meant a fire or a public assist of some kind. Here we go, the ghost. Only three of us were on duty at that moment: the lieutenant, Dan, and me. I like to be first at things, first to go into a burning house, first to answer the phone, first to the dinner table. So I jogged into the bunk room to the nearest extension to take the call. North Plainfield Fire Department, I said into the phone, expecting the dispatcher's voice. Instead, a woman started babbling to me about an emergency at her house. I couldn't understand what she was saying, except for the words ghost and haunted. Yeah, I know I was thinking that, Robin, but I didn't say it. I thought, nope, just keep on reading. I asked her to slow down and tell me what the problem was. The woman took a deep, calming breath and said, "We need you to come at once. There is a terrible ghost in our house, and we want you to remove it." A ghost? I asked incredulously. The lieutenant's head appeared around the frame of the door. He looked intrigued. "What is it?" he asked. I motioned him to silence and said into the phone, "Lady, this is the fire department. Do you have a fire or an emergency of some kind?" "Yes, this is an emergency," the woman said at once. "We have a ghost. Please come." She sounded really frightened. I glanced over at the lieutenant, who was bursting with curiosity by this time, and covered the mouthpiece of the phone. "It's a public assist. Woman wants us to get rid of a ghost in her house," I told him. The lieutenant's face lit up with glee. "Oh, we got to take this call, Dan. We got to take this call. Dan can hold the fort." I returned to the phone, got the address of the alleged haunted house, and assured the woman that we would be there as quickly as possible. As I hung up, The lieutenant said that no one had ever called us out for a ghost before. Gosh, I wonder why, I said dryly, checking my bunker pants to make sure I had everything I needed before we drove away in one of the fire engines. For a ghost, I asked. Not unless you think they'll scare it away. Oh, wait, no, wait, I skipped a line. We probably don't need to turn on the emergency lights, the lieutenant said rather reluctantly. For a ghost, not unless you think they'll scare it away. Okay. The lieutenant chuckled as we made our way to the house, which was less than 5 minutes from the station. I turned the fire engine onto a dark, gloomy street and pulled up in front of a huge two-family house. The place was dilapidated and old, with a sagging porch and roof, peeling paint, and cracked windows. Several shaggy trees loomed over it, and the grass in the yard was overgrown. In short, it looked like a haunted house, except for several cars that lined the driveway. There were only a few flickering lights shining through dirty windows. Here's an illustration. Hi, easily distracted. Happy St. Pat's. Two women and two children were huddled in the center of the lawn. It was a windy, chilly night, not a night to linger outside. These people must really be afraid, I thought. The lieutenant and I hurried over to them. Did you call about a ghost? I asked. Yes, a short, plump woman with dark hair said excitedly. That was me. There is a ghost inside our house. How do you know it's a ghost? Asked the lieutenant. We were sitting in the living room after dinner when it started groaning, the second woman, introduced as a sister, said, waving her arms expressively. The walls shook with the sound, moaning and shrieking and hissing. The children, a little boy and girl, gasped and clung to their mother, staring wide-eyed at their aunt and nodding in agreement. Thank you. I came out here at once with the children while Mary called for help, the sister finished. We'll take a look around, said the lieutenant. Why don't you come back into the house where it's warm? They said no, most emphatically. The children started trembling and crying at the very notion, and the women were ready to pack up and leave at once if we found anything. I'm sure everything will be fine, the lieutenant said soothingly. I suggested that the family get into the car where they could stay warm. They agreed to do so, and the women begged us to be careful. We climbed onto the sagging porch. I was first, as always, and I approached the front door with interest, wondering what I would find. The storm door was rattling all by itself. I stopped abruptly, and the lieutenant knocked into me. What is it? He asked. I pointed at the door. Now he could hear it too. Rattle, buzz, rattle, rattle. The door was shaking. I felt goosebumps rise on my arms. And for the first time, I wondered if there really might be a ghost of some kind in this spooky old house. Wow, creepy, said the lieutenant. He didn't sound nearly as cocky as he had out on the lawn, but his words drove away my unspoken dread. This was a public assist, so we needed to assist. There is, I assured myself as I opened the quivering storm door, no such thing as a ghost. I grasped the handle of the front door and turned it. Oh, we were greeted with a long, low moan. Good Lord, what is that? Asked the lieutenant. Lexi started laughing. As I edged into the dark hallway. Let me pour my water. A staircase led up to the rooms where a second family lived, but they were away for the night. Our family, our family lived on the ground floor, so I turned to the right and entered the room to their apartment. As we made our way into the dimly lit front room, the walls rattled, and an occasional thump made my heart leap into my throat. Oh, the walls moaned, followed by rattle, rattle, thump, swish. My goosebumps returned, but I could see nothing suspicious or out of the ordinary around me. The lieutenant and I decided to check the utilities in the basement, a common procedure in public assist cases. He was right on my heels. Oh, thank you, Selena. Yeah, I agree with about Carolyn's. And I try to make it like that here too. He was right on my heels as we made our way through the living room and into the kitchen, where the basement door was rattling and shaking as badly as the storm door outside. Oh, the house groaned. Ah, gingerly, as if I were about to touch something hot. I turned the handle. The door opened with a little whoosh of air, and all the sounds stopped. I think you just let the ghost out, the lieutenant joked feebly. There was a dead silence throughout the house. Well, we'd still better check things out down here, I said uneasily. I was more disconcerted by the sudden silence than I had been by the groaning. I turned on the light. A dusty bare bulb lit up the staircase, but did nothing to illuminate the rest of the huge basement. As I started down the long, rickety wooden staircase, I expected a skeletal hand to reach through the openings between the treads and grab my ankles. Behind me, I could hear the lieutenant breathing more quickly than normal, and I wondered if he was seeing the same monstrous shadows that were making my heart pound. When my feet touched the basement floor, the sounds started all over again. Ooh, rattle, rattle, thump, swish. Only it was much louder down here, and a new sound joined the others. Hiss went the walls. Ooh, groaned the floorboards above us. Thump, thump, rattle, rattle, rattle. I scoped out the place and realized that the furnace, water heater, and other utilities were, of course, on the far side of the dim, junk, and cobweb filled basement. I reached into the pocket of my bunker pants for the flashlight I always carried and was horrified to discover it wasn't there. Oh, is right, I muttered back as I edged through the clutter. There were pillars throughout the basement supporting dusty brick archways. Cobwebs hung so low that they brushed my hair and face. The light from the single bulb by the staircase through strange shadows over mildewed piles of clothes, broken furniture, half-assembled bicycles, and ancient steamer trunks. Hi, Felicia. Hiss. Oh, thump, thump, rattle, rattle, hiss. I spotted another light bulb about halfway down the long cellar. The chain was only about 2 inches long. When I leapt up to pull it, the cobwebs covered my face, clinging to my eyes and mouth. The bulb feebly flickered to life as the walls continued to hiss softly. I hurried over to the utilities, 2 furnaces, and a water heater. I went to the old furnace first and started going through the normal procedures, turning it off, checking various parts. The lieutenant was doing the same thing for the water heater. As we both moved to the new furnace, we realized that the ominous noises were fading away. We paused in our work and stared at each other through the murky air. No way, said the lieutenant. No way was all that noise caused by the furnace. Hey, Lori. With the last sad, oh, the sounds faded into silence. I nodded. It was the furnace. Just to make sure, I turned the old furnace back on. Within moments, the walls were hissing, groaning, and rattling at us with renewed energy and enthusiasm. I turned it back off. The sound slowly faded away. The lieutenant started laughing, and I joined him. For a few minutes, he said, I thought that I was going to have to start believing in ghosts. Me too, I said, smiling in relief. We decided that the hissing sound was made by the hot water flowing through the pipes. The moans, groans, rattles, and thumps were caused by loose pipes that had lost their seals over the years and were vibrating and moving inside the walls. But there was one mystery left to solve. Why were the doors shaking? The lieutenant asked. Look at this place, I said, gesturing to the small sealed windows at the top of the walls. It's tightly sealed. The furnace couldn't get enough air and was trying to draw it from upstairs and from outside. That's what made the doors rattle. The sound stopped for a few minutes when we opened the basement door because of some of the air the furnace needed rushed in. Peridot. That's so sweet. Just spending my future hubby's money. You didn't have to do that, but that's really sweet. Yeah, I'm never going to live that one down, am I? Thank you, Peridot. We finished the routine checks, turned the furnace back on, and went through the moaning house and outside to talk to the family. They flatly refused to believe us when we said it was the furnace that had caused the noises, not a ghost. The lieutenant finally persuaded them to come into the groaning, rattling house. We took Mary, the mother of the 2 children, down to the basement and turned the furnace off and on for her several times to prove that it was the source of the ghostly noises. She finally believed us, but as we left the house, we could hear her trying in vain to convince her sister and the children that their house was not haunted. As we climbed into the fire engine, the lieutenant seemed puzzled. I don't know how I'm going to write this one up for the books. Nicole. Spending my husband of 20 years' money, too. Thank you, Nicole. That's really sweet. And you didn't have to do that either. That's super sweet. Thank you. Lieutenant seemed puzzled. I don't know how I'm going to write this one up for the books, he said. Better you than me, I said as I drove us back to the station. Yes, Selena, they're supposed to be true. Supposed to be on actual incidents that have happened. I want something good, though. I mean, some of these are kind of lame. Let's see. The first couple of books that we read, the stories were kind of good. Maybe we'll read this one, The Searcher. It looks like somebody looking for things on the shore, like Carolyn wants to do for shells. The Searcher, Long Beach Island. Have you seen my love? I have searched for him everywhere, but I cannot find him. Can you tell me where he is? I ask these questions of everyone I see, reaching out to touch their shoulders or their arms. Oh, I guess it's a different kind of searcher. Lamed ghost in Jersey, I guess. Well, Selena, tales of hauntings, strange happenings, and other local lore. So they've started from somewhere. Yeah, maybe they're retired. I ask these questions of everyone I see, reaching out to touch their shoulders or their arms. My hand goes right through them as if they were made of mist. Most people act as if they cannot see me at all, merely shuddering as if they were cold and walking quickly away. Sometimes people scream when they see me, as if they're looking at a ghost, and then run in the opposite direction. They never answer my questions. Right, so who knows? It's giving me chills, though. I'm kind of liking this one already. The beach seems endless as I walk from one end of the island to the other, down the long, long miles and back again. He must be here. I know he is here. He would never desert me. Perhaps he is injured. Perhaps he is ill. My fear presses me ever onward. I stop each person I meet to ask the same question over and over. Have you seen my love? There were only the three of us in the family growing up, Mama, Papa, and me. Papa was a fisherman, a surprisingly prosperous one. He was a tall, red-headed man with a bushy brown beard who often brought home jewelry and trinkets for my fair-haired little Mama and for me. I remember dressing up in front of Mama's mirror, draping myself in ropes of pearls, winding flowers into my blonde curls. WD, spending my future money of the check I will get at 4 a.m. because I have no hubby. Thank you, Debbie D. It's really sweet of you. You shouldn't have. Yay, Kevin. It's 2000 again. It won't last. We can always keep celebrating, but it's going to go back down. Hi, Kevin. Robin. Thanks, guys. It won't be 2000 probably after this live ends. People do this, I think, on purpose. They love to see me get to 2000. I even got to 2010, and they still a bunch of them left. I remember dressing up in front of Mama's mirror, draping myself in ropes of pearls, winding flowers into my blonde curls, and putting on every ring and pin Papa had ever given her. I told Mama I was a princess, and she laughed and ruffled my hair. Hi, Video Reel. I haven't seen you for a while. Mama and I were active in our local church, though Papa rarely attended. It was from the women at church that I first heard about the Wreckers. The ladies' sewing circle came to our house one week, and we all sat around our parlor, doing hand sewing and talking over the latest news. According to the ladies, the Wreckers knew that many of the ships traveling to and from New York tried to stay as close to shore as possible to cut time and distance off their journey. They sailed by landmarks during the day and navigated by the stars at night, avoiding the shoals and other hazards as best they could. Ships often tried to, quote unquote, cut the corner around Long Beach Island, and the wreckers took advantage of the practice. On dark and moonless nights, they would lead their mules or horses or cows up and down the beach after dark with bright lanterns strapped to their harnesses. They were trying to fool the helmsmen of passing ships into believing that the lights they saw came from another ship sailing close to the shore. The helmsman would steer in closer to the other quote unquote ship, and their vessels would smash into the shoals. The dead sailors would float ashore to be robbed of their possessions by the wreckers. Ooh, that's creepy. Love you too, Debbie D. Davita's back from her shower. She's all nice and clean. When Mama caught a glimpse of my terrified fascination with these tales, she hushed the ladies and changed the topic to something more suitable for a child's ears. Her best friend immediately produced an entertaining anecdote about some local pigs and a rambunctious little boy that made the whole sewing circle laugh until they cried. That was the last time I heard Mama laugh. She fell ill with a terrible fever soon afterward. Though her life was spared, she would never again take more than a few steps from her bed. I was 10 the year Mama lost her health, old enough to help out around the house and take care of Mama. Only there was one task I was not prepared for. One night, Papa awakened me from my sleep and bade me follow him down to the beach. I was horrified when I saw a ship sinking off the shore. I thought we were there to rescue the sailors, but Papa told me gruffly that there was nothing we could do for them. As we reached the beach, I saw the men's bodies washing ashore. It was a shocking moment. I had never seen a corpse before, and the poor mangled bodies of the drowned sailors turned my stomach. I ran quickly into the bushes and was sick. Papa shouted at me then, telling me to stop acting like a woman and get to work. Doing what? I asked him. We were there, he explained, to remove money and jewelry and anything of value from the sailors, seeing that they did not need it anymore. I protested strongly. Such a thing was wrong, I told him. Only the most unscrupulous people looted the bodies of shipwreck victims. The folks in town despise looters almost as much as they did wreckers. Papa struck me across the face and told me to obey him or find somewhere else to live. With trembling hands, I did as he asked, knowing it was wrong, but not knowing what else to do. Where could I go? All my parents' relatives were dead, and even if there was somewhere to go, how could I leave my invalid mother? So I knelt beside each poor sailor, praying softly for his soul as I took away his worldly goods. Several more times that year, Papa dragged me down. It is horrible, isn't it? Several more times that year, Papa dragged me down to the beach to loot the bodies along the shadow figures of many other men and women. I never looked at any of them closely, not wanting to recognize someone I knew. Whenever I resisted, Papa beat me. I was ashamed when I realized that this, not fishing, was the source of his prosperity. I never told Mama how Papa came by his additional income, as the knowledge would have killed her. I found out by accident that Papa himself was one of the wreckers, not just someone who profited from them. One moonless night, after I tucked Mama into her bed, I heard a man come to the window to talk with Papa. They spoke of borrowing a few mules, which didn't make sense to me at the time. Later, When Papa dragged me down to a shipwreck, I understood. The borrowed, that was hard to say for a minute, mules had been used to carry deceptive lights up and down the beach, luring the poor ship to its doom. As soon as we returned home, I ran into my room and sank onto my bed, muffling my sobs with a pillow. How could Papa do such a thing? It was murder, plain and simple. And how could I live with myself, I, who went down to the beaches with him to steal from the dead? My tears ceased at last and were replaced by a numbness that stole over my mind and soul. That was the last time I ever thought or cried over my situation. In the years that followed, I let the numbness fill me, and I no longer prayed over the dead soldiers when I stripped them of their worldly goods. I just followed Papa when he bade me come to the beach with him. The rest of the time, I took care of Mama, cleaned the little gray house where we lived, went to school and to church on Sunday, though I was too ashamed to pray for the redemption of my secret crimes, and attended the local sewing circle. When I was 18, a handsome young sailor named Kenny took notice of me and started walking me home from socials and from church. He was dark-haired and blue-eyed, with a dimple in his chin and a small white scar on his right cheek. I thought him wise and witty and completely wonderful. For the first time since I turned 10, the numbness around my heart lifted, and I dared to fall in love. Perhaps, oh please God, we would marry. Perhaps I could leave this terrible house and take Mama away with me. Perhaps there would be redemption at last from my crimes against the dead. I never told Kenny about Papa and the wreckers, but just being with him gave me the strength to defy Papa. I refused to help him loot the bodies of the poor sailors the next time a ship wrecked near our beach. Papa was furious with me. He hit me so hard that I lost consciousness, and he had to go to the beaches alone. The next morning, I made up a story to explain my blackened eye and bruised face to Mama. I stayed away from town until the bruises healed, not wanting Kenny to see me that way, not knowing how to explain. I was afraid he would turn from me in disgust when he realized what a terrible creature I was. Kenny proposed marriage after courting me for 2 months. I was never so happy in my life as the moment I agreed to be his wife. He set sail for the West Indies the next day, promising that when he returned, we would be married and live on the other side of the island. He didn't understand why I insisted that Mama come live with us. Surely Papa would want to care for his own wife, Kenny said. But I told him that Papa did not have time and that Mama would be better off in our new home. Kenny's voyage took several months. The time he was away seemed like an eternity. I was not sure I would be able to defy Papa without Kenny around to offer unwitting support. Fortunately, there was a long spell with no shipwrecks, and I was spared the choice. Then Mama fell ill again. She grew weaker and weaker, and I spent most of my time nursing her, terrified that she would die and leave me alone with Papa. I prayed and prayed that Kenny would come home soon and take us away with him. I had just gotten Mama to sleep one evening when Papa came hurrying into our little gray house. There was a shipwreck on the shore nearby, and we were going to loot it. My face flushed as I told him I would not go. Papa slapped me, and I fell heavily against the sharp edge of the table, which pierced my side. I felt several ribs snap inside me, and I imagined their shattered remnants slicing my torso apart. The pain was devastating. I sank to the floor and curled into a ball of agony. Ugh. Papa grabbed me by my long hair and lifted me up to face him. I heard him threaten to go into the bedroom and tell Mama about his wrecking. He knew, as I did, that the secret would kill her. I thought of Kenny. If I went with Papa, I would lose Kenny, for an upright man would never bind himself to someone involved in an act as evil as wrecking. But if I didn't go, I would kill my mother. There was but one choice. Anger and guilt overwhelmed me as I dragged myself down to the beach behind Papa. The physical pain was intense, radiating out from my ribs and inner organs through my chest and stomach. I could barely walk and had to stop several times to retch and spit up blood. Somewhere in the back of the head, in the back of my head, I knew that I was dying. You couldn't cough up so much blood and live. But my physical agony was nothing compared to my emotional despair as I saw my last hope of redemption fading away. I stumbled onto the beach, nearly bent double as I clutched my injured side. As I stared at the familiar scene of carnage that followed a wreck, I felt the numbness stealing back into my heart and mind, and I knew then that I was lost. A body was laying face down, only a few steps from me, though I almost missed it due to a growing darkness around the edges of my vision. Nonetheless, I had to make an effort, or Papa would keep his promise to tell Mama the awful truth. I dropped my lantern beside the body and knelt. Through glazed eyes, I searched the dead man's pocket for money or jewelry. There was nothing. Then I turned him over. It was a young fellow, dark-haired and blue-eyed, with a dimple in his chin. For a moment, my vision cleared, and I stared into the sailor's face, his features etching themselves into my brain for all eternity. I felt something in my mind give way, and everything around me went blurry and still and calm. When I focused once more on the handsome face of the drowned sailor, I felt pity for him, but had no recollection of who he was or how he came to be on the beach. Then pain from my broken ribs swelled up inside me, driving out the numbness in one final burst. I saw a terrible pit open before my eyes, and I could do nothing to save myself from falling down and down and down into the bottomless depths. I coughed, my body racked with suffering. Blood spilled over my dress, over the sailor's clothes, over his beloved dead face. I collapsed slowly on top of him, feeling my life fading away into pain and darkness and death. And then, as I was standing on a strange beach, looking down on a scene that I was sure had some significance to me, if I could only remember what it was. A young girl with flowing blonde hair lay sprawled across the body of a handsome sailor. They were both covered with blood, their faces lit eerily by a lantern resting beside them. Here's a illustration. I wanted to help them, but there was nothing I could do. And I couldn't linger because deep inside my soul, I felt a sharp compulsion that could not be denied. My love, my heart, my soul, my redemption was missing. Kenny was out there somewhere. If I could only find him, I had to find him, or all was lost. I turned away from the poor dead couple and saw a tall, red-headed man with a bushy brown beard standing a few feet away. He was holding a darkened lantern and was staring at the dead couple with horror on his face. I wondered if the man was somehow acquainted with one of them. I did not want to interrupt such a personal moment, but desperation drove me over to his side. I had to find Kenny, and maybe this man could help. I reached out to tap the man's shoulder, but my hand went right through him, as if he were made of mist. He shuddered when I touched him. I stared pleadingly into his face, compelling him to see me, to speak to me, but he was blind to all but the dead couple lying on the ground in front of him. Still, I asked him the questions burning through my mind. though he gave me no response. Have you seen my love? I have searched for him everywhere, but I cannot find him. Can you tell me where he is? That was the end of that one. No, it's not my birthday, Muppets. I don't know why people are saying that. Why are they saying that? Who started that? I saw it in Carolyn's. People are like, happy birthday, Scooter. It's not my birthday. How did somebody get that? Nicole, it's not my birthday. It was on TikTok. How funny. Selena. Hey, Carolyn, when are you going live? You still here? Carolyn, Marie, Michelle. Oh, because of the video? Yeah, I've been doing a couple of them. I've been trying to do one for every day, just for the people of the world. So people think it's me. Peridot. Carolyn, does she have a live set yet? Carolyn, Marie, Michelle, Melissa, Muppets. Right, right, Selena. Tavita. Yeah, does she have it set up yet, guys? I'm gonna look and see. Carolyn. Is it Selena? No, it's not set up yet, Farm Wife. Mm-hmm. Well, I will check myself. See. Nope, not yet. I don't feel that good, Davita. And I am tired. Is it, Nicole? Lexi is Lexi Marie Michelle. But it's actually literally, if you look at her birth certificate, Lexi Marie Mitchell. Nikki, her mom, thought Michelle had a T in it. So technically, she's Lexi Marie Mitchell. Just something on the top of my mouth. And I just felt achy. Thanks, Muppets. I'll be fine. Yes, that's exactly how it's spelled, Nicole. That's how Nikki spelled it. I remember laughing afterwards. Like, Mitchell? She's like, Michelle. Like, that says Mitchell. She's like, oh, I thought, doesn't it have a T in it? I'm like, no. She's like, oh, I thought it had a T in it. Really, Muppets? With like paint on the roof of his mouth? on one side? Because that started yesterday. That's how my daughter spells her name, Niki. I did that warm salt water. I'll have to do it again. I did do it. And I took some Vapo Cool or something like that, cough syrup. And it really hurt when I took that. Yep, that's how she spells it. Oh, Robin, that's so sad. No, but I was thinking of that, Debbie D. Yes, a long time ago when I first started getting the inhaler, yes. And I was wondering today, is that what's caused this? Oh, that's pretty, Felicia. Oh, you're welcome, Tammy. Let me just show you guys a couple of creepy dolls, since I don't feel like really reading anymore. Show you some of these dolls from the books I ordered. Well, that I got from the auction, okay? From Muppets. Not from Muppets, from It's Bink. Ooh. Even this one looks creepy to me. She looks like she was a real human. Look at that face. Chicken soup fun. She's a cameo cloth doll. There's something about her, though, that creeps me out. She does look real, but let's see. Well, it's showing a Cupid here. Gosh, there's a lot of dolls in here. Let me see. There was a couple of weird. No, I haven't looked, Peridot. Look at that one. Hi, Lisa H. Let's see. Rubber dolls. Paper mache. Ooh. Mama. Oh, right? Yes, Selena. Oh. No, I hope not, Debbie D. It's just in one spot of my mouth. Look at her. She's all misshaped. Did they, Felicia? I want to set my phone up so I can just shine it down on here, Right, Selena? We already have Chucky in here and Glenn. Oh my gosh, look at this. This one's smoking a cigarette. One's Marlene Dietrich. Look at these. These are weird. Oh, really, Felicia? Look at that one smoking. And then on top is Marlene Dietrich, an actress from way, way, way back. Way back. Yeah, they're both here. A lot of Cupies in here. Yeah, right, Davita. Smoking dolls. Some of them are sort of cute. Let's see, there were some that are in color. Half dolls. Those are strange too. Oh. Let me find these. I think it's right here. These are. Oh, here we go. Is this Patty Play Pal or is that Chatty Cathy? Must be Chatty Cathy, the way the face looks. Something every kid wants, a smoking doll. Oh, wait, this one doesn't have any pictures. It must be this right here. Oh, it's not, but look at this. Celebrity Theater presents An Evening with Willie Nelson. 201 East Broadway, Anaheim, Sunday, November 29th, 1992, 7:30 p.m. So somebody went to see Willie Nelson. I like finding notes in books. Howard's End, Unforgiven, A Few Good Men, Crying Game, movies. My Cousin Vinny, Something Fish, some numbers, Amcor, then there's a phone number, Stop the Insanity, Susan, 1995, payment. Here's the book with colored pictures. Here it is. Oh yeah, maybe Big Fish. It looked bigger though. I mean bigger. It was like a longer word, I think. Oh my gosh, here is my sister Becky's doll, Little Miss No Name. Bunny, right? Freaky bunny. There she is in the burlap dress. Becky cried on Christmas morning. She didn't want her. Was it Robin? Well, maybe that's a sign to you, Robin. Let's see. Look for something unusual. Jiminy Cricket. Aw. Pinocchio. $285 and $250. And Small World plastic mask face with painted features, all cloth body and limbs, jewel glued to middle of forehead. Original 20 inches for $95. Jiminy Cricket looks adorable. See. Is this Popeye smoking a pipe? No, it's not. I don't know who. Mammy Pappy Yoakum? Mammy Yoakum? Emmett Kelly, Lil Abner, Alfred E. Newman, Captain Kangaroo, Christopher Robin, Daisy May. Oh, that's Captain Kangaroo, I think. Hi, Chris Ree. Ooh. The heck is that? What in the heck is this? All felt with painted features, glued on hair, felt clothes, and tagged Annalee Mobile T Dolls, Meredith, New Hampshire, 1957 to 84. And then Go Go Girl. What's wrong with her mouth? Ooh. Look at that. The heck? And look at Go Go Girl. Those are creepy, aren't they? Scaring you, Kevin? Yeah, these are kind of strange. Now, Lisa, don't get mad at me, but for some reason, this is a doll that I picture looks like you for some reason, and I don't even know why. It's called Toodles Baby, all vinyl, bent leg baby with rooted hair, sleep eyes, and completely original, open mouth nurser. Also came as toddler in sizes 22 and 28 inches. Courtesy doll cradle, 16 inches, $85 and up. 22 inches, 125 and up. This one right here with the pink, this girl right here, this doll reminds me of you, Lisa. I don't know why. Tell me if I'm close. This girl, this doll. I don't even know why. Like if they shrunk you into a doll, would it look like that, Lisa? She's really cute. What? Do you, Nicole? Let's see if what she says. Lisa H's baby picture. Yeah, I just see you looking like that. I have no idea. I will post baby pictures tonight. Okay. She's really cute. Let's see. um, Edith, the Lonely Doll, which also came in 22-inch size, completely original with hair and original set, has earrings, 1958. Uses the Mary Bell doll, courtesy doll, cradle, 325 and up. This girl right here. Why do I keep calling them girls? Wouldn't that be creepy if they all had been girls at one time? The Lonely Doll. These are cute little dolls. That would be a fun one. Whisper to Me. Chatterbox, 1962. Smarty, 1962. I should remember some of these because I was so into dolls as a little one. I would have been 6, 7. Do you, Kevin? The Dion Quints. You guys ever hear about them? Dr. Defoe is shown with the Dion Quints. All are composition and original except the stethoscope was added. Courtesy Florence Phelps. Doctor, $600 and up. The Quints, $1,000 and up. It's not my birthday. Yeah, the Dion Quints. Yeah, I remember hearing about them. They were before my time as well. But of course, I know about things before my time. My great grandma had some doll like this. Peridot. She had some doll that was porcelain sitting in her bedroom on her dresser. It was huge. Didn't they grow up, Kevin? Yeah, didn't they? Yeah, they were. I think they lived long lives. I'm not real sure. Happy unbirthday. Yeah, the Dion Quints. I know I've heard of them and remember seeing pictures. I think, weren't they paraded around and stuff like that? Their parents used them for money, maybe? I'm not real sure on that. Ooh. Wonder if Carolyn would like these. They look kind of like gnomes. Carolyn. I was just wondering if you would like something like these. Oh, Selena, I'm so sorry. I'm very sorry for your loss. It's terrible. Yeah, I didn't think you would like these, Carolyn. I'm just playing around. Carolyn, here's snow babies. A 5.5 inch all bisque snow baby. $300. Am I crazy? I have the two figures on, no, one figure on sled, I think, for $125. Are you kidding me? A single figure. $55, $75, and $100. It just goes on and on. Look at this one. Born in 1934. Okay. Weren't they used by the doctor or someone, Kevin? Paraded around? Yes, many prayers, Selena. Oh, Selena. So horrible. Okay, Kevin. And Linda Gelb, yes. And Carolyn. And Davita. Right, Davita? But I have read about the Quints before. I just can't remember much about them, but aw. This one is $3,800, guys. Kind of creepy looking. Aw. Peridot. Now, this doll is actually pretty right now. She's from 1927. She's pretty. Yeah, his name is Kevin, Selena. And you're his mother. Ooh, another paper mache one. I kind of like her face. Yeah, she is so pretty, right? Look at this one. She's paper mache. I kind of like that for some reason. $88, Kevin. Wow. So there's still a couple of them left. Right, Selena? Right, Felicia? This little guy is pretty. I know boys aren't supposed to be pretty, but he's pretty, I think. Yeah, hugs to you, Davida, Carolyn, Selena, Linda. This one looks like she should be on the Muppet Show. Doesn't she? Creepy, right? Oh, Carolyn, though, they do have a lot of cupies in here. What, Carolyn? Yeah, that's Peanut. Yeah, Miss Piggy's cousin. This one's face looks like he could be a real boy. Back of the room by the window. That's just a cart filled with stuff. Need to get it all off. Carolyn, they have Vogue dolls. They have Madame Alexander's. pretty baby blanket, doll blanket, whatever. Ooh. That one looks scary. Here's a Carolyn, very rare teddy bear perfume bottle. Head comes off, completely off, and he has a glass vial in body with glass stopper for $395. And look at these things. What Davina pray? Ukraine. Oh no. Yeah, I guess you could hide money. Didn't somebody here like strawberry shortcake and blueberry? Carolyn, look, this is Becky's doll. Little Miss No Name, I told you. She got for Christmas that year. And she cried because she didn't want her. But then she ended up liking her, I guess. I was not. Yeah, there's a lot of dolls in here. Oh, wow. This one's just all prices. It opened up right to Little Miss No Name. That's weird. 15-inch one. A low price, $15. Average price, $31. High price, $55. Well, I'm going to go because Carolyn, hi, New England Thrifter. I'm sure Carolyn will be going live soon. Ooh. The heck is this one? Oh, it's supposed to be President Nixon. They were at the Nat Republican Convention in San Diego. Convention site moved, so these table pieces were never used. Sun-made raisin doll. Look at this. Look at that. Ew. It doesn't even look like Nixon. It's not my birthday, Selena. You meant to say have a happy unbirthday, right? Yeah, huge head. Very odd and unusual dolls in here. Well, I guess we'll go and see you over at Carolyn's, guys. Thanks for coming in. It's not my birthday, LMNW50. Lexi's laughing now. It probably is a joke doll. Okay. Bye, guys. See ya. See ya at Carolyn's. Remember, I'll be there. I just don't chat because it hurts my hands. Yeah, Lexi, Lisa said hi. Hi. Okay, see you guys. Bye.